It's Praise the Lord.
Trinity Broadcasting Network began in the mid-1970s as a single California TV station. It was the vision of Paul and Janice Crouch. The couple, known as Mama and Papa on air, promoted Christian evangelical programming
Call long distance
and pledge drives to help their, quote, Church of the Air expand its reach. Over nearly 4 decades, the Crouches expanded TBN to include multiple networks, satellite broadcast facilities, even a theme park in Orlando called the Holy Land Experience. Today, Trinity Broadcasting Network is the world's largest Christian television corporation, with annual expenditures of nearly $200 million.
Bless the Lord at all times. His praise.
Paul and Janice produce their own shows, and the network also broadcasts the programs of many other televangelists. At the heart of TBN and the Crouches' preaching is what's known as the prosperity gospel. This controversial doctrine holds that the more you give to the Lord, the more the Lord will give back to you. As a registered nonprofit, TBN in recent years received more than $90 million annually in tax-exempt donations. The company uses some of its donations and earnings to provide the Crouches with multiple mansions, and it's also purchased 2 company jets.
We want to be sure that
The Crouches have faced criticism for their lavish spending and financial secrecy, but they have justified the expenses by saying that they were necessary for their mission, to spread the gospel to the world.
Welcome to
And for nearly 40 years, the family stuck together through times of adversity, until now. This is Brittany Coper, TBN's former financial director and the granddaughter of Paul and Janice Crouch. In a flurry of recent lawsuits and countersuits, Ms. Coper has charged that Trinity engages in many unethical and possibly illegal spending practices. She said that when she tried to change things, she was fired last September. But Trinity Broadcasting said they fired Ms. Coper because she and her husband were stealing money themselves. I spoke at length with Ms. Coper and also with lawyers for TBN. Both sides accused the other of a variety of misdeeds. Some of these accusations may only be resolved in court. Ms. Coper said she was told to find ways to classify luxury items, even including an air-conditioned mobile home mainly used for Janice Crouch's dogs, as legitimate ministry expenses. She alleged that she and her husband and dozens of other TBN employees, from bodyguards to theme park workers, were ordained as ministers by the company, in part to avoid paying Social Security taxes.
my son.
Yes, sir.
And, according to Ms. Coper, TBN invested millions of dollars in a for-profit film company run by son Matthew Crouch, while he was on the board of TBN.
One night with the king.
Lawyers for Trinity Broadcasting responded by saying that Ms. Coper and her husband, also a former employee, had virtually admitted to stealing last fall, and now they are trying to divert attention from their own crimes. Now, the IRS has regulations saying that a nonprofit religious group like this cannot provide, quote, excess benefits tax-free to their employees. But what is excess is not clearly defined. And legal experts tell me that under the First Amendment, religious organizations have quite a bit of leeway, and the government is often reluctant to go after them.
money never, he knows that, meant anything to me.
The Crouches declined an interview with the Times. The lawyer for TBN said that the company's practices were legal and had been well audited.
Coast to coast.
Meanwhile, Paul Crouch, his son Matthew, and Matthew's family are just wrapping up a 6-week world tour, visiting affiliates and taping programs on the company's $49 million jet.
We've got a rowdy bunch here tonight, don't we? Oh, listen.